Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to That View. Welcome to another episode, another podcast. Yes, another Trinity podcast, episode 83. 83 episodes in. I tell you what, yeah, when you say it like that, like there's been 83 weeks of this. It's a lot of weeks. I can't wait to hit that nice round 100 where we're like,
yeah,
episodes deep.
We're on our way. That's when we're on our way. You know, talk about 1,000 minutes and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. And
whole new craft, mate.
When we get into like episode, actually, do you reckon we would have won? We would have won something significant by episode 300.
Yes,
that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yes,
that's a lot of time, KG. That's a long period of time.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna say
what you're saying is basically once you get to episode 100, you're getting in your groove. You're getting, some would say, optimized.
Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA, and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings, and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover, and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. Two of our own, OWEN, lost over 100 pounds in 10 months, and KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds, and Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds, and Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work.
Yes. You know,
KG had the alley-oop pass. Owen said, thank you. Thank you.
Dwayne Wade settings.
Yep, 100%, man. Miami Heat days, bro. That's what that was. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. But guys, I had fun yesterday. I don't know if you got a little glimpse of.
I saw, of course. The Altons. I
wanted to bring this up. I'm glad that you did this, KG. I'm glad that you said this because I wanted to bring this up. Yeah, I saw the thumbnail, and lots of people were saying, "Have you seen it?" And I was going, "I don't know what you're talking about." They went, "You must have seen it." I go, "I don't know what you're talking about." They went, "KG's put a thumbnail up of him in the phobe." The hilarious thing was as well, it says, "Today I feel Saudi." Like hours later, we realized Saudi's got really nothing to do with it. You know what I mean?
Today I feel UAE,
mate.
It's that part of the world, mate.
Yeah, you mate. I went early.
You did go early, but I mean, the problem is when you've gone that early, it does make you sort of go, well, so I can't even really ask you, what do you feel about it? you're in a phone.
All in.
I mean, how can you see that? How can you see that and go, so KG, how do you feel?
Yeah. What's your take on these whole rumors that Turkey Al Sheikh said?
Well, you can see that I'm clearly happy about it, and as soon as my guy,
clearly, that's an understatement. You can see I'm happy about it.
You saw my guy, Mr. His Excellency, Turkey Al Sheikh, someone that I actually am already working for the boxing. So I thought, you know what? Let me just put in as soon as he said he was, because he didn't say it wasn't him trying to buy it. This was the day before where it was like, is he playing games? And I know this man, he don't play games like that. When it comes to finances, it's serious business. Yeah. So I got excited. And then after, trust me, my boy Jordy was in the chat and he was panicking. This is before they cleaned it up. And he goes, listen, I know this man. Yeah, I've spoken to him many a times. He will bring them back. He doesn't play. If this happens, we're all fucked. That's just,
in a Geordie accent.
In his Geordie accent, literally, he was panicking, and it made me happy because I was thinking, you're one away from him. Like, you have the personal relationship, right? And then after the tweet that broke my heart, it's not me, guys.
Well, not me, but I do know some people who will
I
be.
do know who, and I'm not playing. That was the key, because everyone thought he was trolling. He's like, no, I'm not playing. There is something happening, but it's not me. But I want it to happen. And this is where, and we find ourselves here, where it's like, and I watched the show this morning, guys, and I think we can't say it's not happening, but I've already drawn up a list of players that I would like.
See, and this is where it gets crazy. This is where it gets crazy, because you know we are trying to keep expectations to not even the minimum, just exercise caution. We're asking people to exercise caution. It's like when the government knows that, you know, there could be something happening, but you want to keep everybody calm. So you put out a positive message, you put out a calming message, and you say, listen, we don't want you to get too carried away. Here's the facts versus things that haven't been said. So it's not nothing, but we don't know if it's something yet. So try to stay calm. But what you've done is essentially drawn up the transfer list.
Right. When I thought it was, okay, I said, okay, we're boiling.
What, did you go straight to like Mbapp's and that, or did you keep it realistic?
Oh, no, that's ridiculous. Basically, I have bought.
That at least that's ridiculous then. Yeah,
that's ridiculous. He says reading out of a book that he's written down players in. That'd be ridiculous.
So obviously, I'm bringing in Yamal, obviously for the under 18s to just with Cheeto.
Yeah, take it. Yeah,
we both thought the same thing.
Yeah, because also not only is he bringing him in, he's putting him in the resis. He's putting him with Cheeto.
Mbappe would be ridiculous, but Yamal for the under 18s is completely rational.
So he's going to play Yamal with JJ for, you know, just to get, you know, a bit of experience. All right, cool.
With he's going to be with, you know, Sekou Kone and you know, go. Can they get minutes at the moment?
Thwaites,
Fletcher and stuff. Yeah, Fletcher's kids. In fact, he'll be managed by Darren Fletcher, actually.
Yeah,
Yamal. I mean, so
Can I finish?
Yeah, you can finish. Yeah.
All right. So I have bought back. So I love Sesko. I'm in the Sesko business, but I am gonna bring in Haaland and Ronaldo.
Why is he doing?
He also said Ronaldo. I caught a bit of Ronaldo as well. Bring Ronaldo back with Haaland as well up front.
Let me in, guys. Do you not want to hear my list or not? It's a great list.
Okay.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to hear the list.
It's got into this. I mean, Wazzy says sin bin again, but we will get to the end of it. But if the names get too much, it has to be temporary sin bins and straight back in.
What's this? KG, what's happened to you?
I didn't even ask who the manager is yet.
Because KG's been very doom and gloom, you know what I mean, recently. And now a couple of tweets from Turkey, and now he's back. KG's back. Yeah, KG is back.
This is what people said. This is what people said. This is
the real guy. This is all you wanted, just something that could ignite you.
That's why on Monday, you know, when he was like, I'll never like want Man United to lose again. I went, yeah, you will. Like, because
I'm back. I'm back to who I am meant to be. This is who I am, guys. Like now, there's money on the table, So guess what? What I've done, this is, you're gonna get rid of me, but let me say it first.
I'm not gonna touch anything anymore.
We've had some issues with the midfield, the deep midfield, So what I've done is I bought Wharton and Belabor, but I bought in Caicedo and Gravenberch as backups.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
In there, kept. And
go on.
Memo.
Yeah.
I've got good memo, but I've kept Palmer. Yeah, I've got Palmer and Eze as backups.
Right, go on. Carry on.
On the left wing back.
Got it back.
On the left wing back. Hold on. Hear me out. Yeah. Now, this wouldn't work, but it makes sense for me. Yeah. So while we do have Dorgu, I thought let's upgrade it. Wing backs fast. Kvaratskhelia and Bukayo Saka backups.
Too much. You couldn't even build that on Ultimate Team. I don't even think Ultimate Team would even let you build that. I don't even think you could do it on EAFC. I don't think you could. The game would say, nah, you're fucking taking the piss.
It reminded me of when Flay G was the manager of Manchester United, and you bought all of those players. You said, I think that the thing was when we've got Altan's money, so we're going to be buying all these players. Got sacked. Ended up at Middlesbrough.
Oh yeah.
So
good job. Good job.
Yeah.
We got sacked. We bought what's the kid that we bought, bro? We had Osman
Ames.
Bro, no, we got sacked. Man,
Magic Mike in goal. You had everyone.
The last one, the goalkeeper. So what we decided, is we didn't just want to go and get any normal goalkeeper. By the time the deal's gone through, stem cell research should have gone through, and we're gonna put together a hybrid keeper of a bit of Van der Sar, Schmeichel, just some of the greats, Neuer. And then we'll have a keeper.
And that's because of the stem cell treatment. Because basically we got unlimited Ps. It's like you also got guys working in labs. So you go to Edwin. He's obviously in good health now, which is amazing. Take a bit of DNA.
Yeah. Regen. So like EAFC, when you see that player and the name's a bit different.
Yeah.
I fixed United, guys.
Yeah. Also, KG, you haven't spoke about the manager, to be fair.
Amorim.
Wait, that's even fucking worse. That's even worse. So hold on, let's break this down.
You know what? For a second, to be fair, I was worried he was getting a little bit crazy there for a second. But now that I know that the hybrid ultra human that is Peter Schmeichel, Edwin van der Sar with a sprinkling of David De Gea playing in a 3-4-3, that made it a little less nonsensical. That's good.
He can't
a little bit less nonsensical, you know.
Can he fail with that?
So basically, what
genetic human testing can he fail with that?
No way. All right, take the keeper out. Take the keeper out.
All right, we'll take the keeper out. But here's what's interesting about what you said. Here's what's interesting,
with human experimentation.
You've just basically had the keys to change every single thing. Because there's obviously with what you're doing, there's no limits. There's no point asking you about what the rules to that thing is. It's I could do what I want. It's my book. I could say anything. But what I find unbelievable, actually, the biggest thing out of everything, is when you get to the end and you have a chance, shout out league judges, to get rid of this manager. And what you're saying is you would do all of that with that kind of crazy backup, and you would actually trust Ruben Amorim to do. That's what you wouldn't even take up the option to.
I didn't say I trust him, but again, I did also hear that
you wouldn't change the manager with all of those changes.
3 years. Well, I just heard the news. Listen, I'm going to stick to the facts and be responsible. I heard our manager get 3 years
from INEOS, not from UAE, KG.
Not from Altan's, bro.
No.
Should we on a serious note? Because I have been playing around and stuff.
Oh, you want to be serious? Oh,
nah. On a serious note, though, this is where it gets interesting, because I tried to listen to Keegan. You know, he's the guy, financial breakdown guy, give us a lot of insight. What's going on? Is the club being bought out and stuff? And you lot are talking about something that I do find interesting in the point of the Glazers don't have to tell INEOS they're looking for fun. They're shopping the club out. The Glazers don't have to do that job, but the Glazers, if someone would offer 5 billion, surely the Glazers are going to take it. There's no way they're not going to have that conversation. Do you think this is just total nonsense? Why would he lie? Why would Turkey al-Sheikh wake up one morning and say, hey, a deal's happening?
I don't think it's nonsense. I think that there probably is and are parties in the UAE putting together or hoping to put together some kind of offer. I just don't know if the Glazers would accept for 5 million, because they were offered. I'm pretty sure they were offered more. I'm pretty sure they were offered more than 5 billion in that whole takeover saga, and they said no. So unless it got closer to their valuation, which was reportedly like closer to some ridiculous 8 or 9, or maybe, because remember inflation since then, KG. Prices have moved up since then.
I listened to the financial expert speak about it, and he said that the club is valued currently, even with all the shares, everything that's involved right now, 3 point something billion. So they don't know where
it
come from.
It was massively, even when that whole thing during the strategic alternatives process, the club was massively overpriced. That's what people were talking about at the time, is that they were asking for a ridiculous premium.
It's still not even worth that.
That's why Qatar ultimately ended up pulling out, because they said this is taking the piss. This is you're asking for too much, because obviously the problem that comes with it with Manchester United is, all right, let's say you pay the Glazers 7-8 billion quid. Here you go. Here's 7-8 billion quid. And then you go, oh, by the way, you've still got to wipe out the debt. You've still got to wipe that all out. You've still got to do all of the other things and other costs associated with it. Like, it's a really expensive project. It's a really expensive organization to purchase. So that's why ultimately Qatar pulled out, because they said it was, well, this isn't value for money. You're taking. And
they had a fee of money, which was like the 3 billion ish, which was inclusive of giving it to the Glazers plus the 1 billion input into the club. I remember that, of like clearing off debt and stuff. Their price was inclusive of everything.
Inclusive of that, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to give you that. Then we're going to have to go find more money. And then it got to a point of, like we said, remember when Carver was saying it, like, you know, they will not be pushed around. People see them as having a lot of money, but the Qataris, I'm told, will not be bullied. And that was the thing, is like, yeah, we got bread, but you can't take us for idiot, bro. We're not going to pay over the odds for something. And then, like you said, they end up just,
because they could have. They could have. If
they ain't got it.
If the Glazers wanted 10 million, let's say, like 10 billion rather, the Qataris could have given it to them. Like, that wasn't an issue, you know. And in the same way that if this consortium in the UAE, that's actually, the money won't be a problem.
Yeah,
for them. They could stack up 7, 8, 9, 10 billion quid if they wanted to. It's just whether or not they feel like it's worth it, or if that's what they want to do. So that's why I'm still really skeptical about it. If it is even in excess of 5 billion, it's a ways to go. I do think, and maybe this is tinfoil hatney here, but it is weird that this starts to happen just after those drag-along clauses come into effect.
Yeah.
They came into effect in August. And now, a couple months removed from that, we straight away start to hear of people, even if it's testing the resolve of the Glazers or having these talks. And bear in mind, there have been lots of talks for a lot of different things. As we've said, Omar Barada's gone around pitching the stadium project to a lot of wealthy people. And maybe the beginning of those talks, then that can transform into something else. We're going, well, we'll give you some money for the stadium. But just out of curiosity, if you were interested in Salah, would you put a number on that? Would you ever be interested in that? Do you have to? What's the situation with INEOS? Do you have to tell them? Do you have to? You know what I mean? There's lots of. There's something going on. I think there's something going on. Whether or not it's as advanced as
it could be coincidence, or it could be just.
I don't believe there's coincidence to this, guys. And you should see the just in terms of in boxing and what Turkey's part in the whole boxing. You was talking about today and what he's delivered on. And let's just look around. Look at Man City. I know there's some people that are not too excited about this type of ownership, yeah? But then at the same time, you're like, well, we're so far behind. We're behind. We can't. Players are choosing Arsenal over Man United. That's a new one, really, in the Gyökeres type situation. But then we're at the bottom. If there's all the top clubs available, you're probably not picking Man United. So if Liverpool's available, Man City's available, Arsenal's available, Chelsea's available, you're probably not going to pick us, really. So now we're fighting with the likes of Newcastle's, Villa. Like, there's been a changing of the guard. And the more we're not in them European competitions, we can't operate like how we should do. You saw what that competition done for Chelsea, the Club World Cup. It helped them sort out their financial situation. Man United, we're either going to get caught like way far behind. If we don't now get to play European football and get that regular money, which we need as a club, we're going to be in trouble. So we have to look at this potentially. I know Sir Jim's saying he's going to turn us to the most profitable club in a few years' time. That's his plan. But that's going to take rising ticket prices. That's going to take a lot of cutbacks. And that's going to take selling the youth that we don't want to be sold. So you might have to sell a Kobe Mainu. sell.
I don't know if it necessarily. I don't know if that necessarily does, because I think the danger you fall in with this kind of thing of going, just because we throw money at our problems does not mean that we fix a lot of our problems, right? Obviously, maybe the financial ones, like i.e. the debt getting removed, that obviously helps us out a lot. And investing into the team and into the facilities helps us a lot. But there are also things I think that are wrong with Manchester United that don't really have anything to do with money. So we're talking about, culture. We're talking about the academy. And I do think that Jim Ratcliffe's comments about the academy were taken quite a lot out of context this week when he was talking about the finances involved in it. I think he was mainly sort of saying that, look, the rules are the rules at the moment. You're encouraged to develop players, sell them for a pure profit, but also it benefits you financially if they come on and be a huge success in your team, because you don't have to go out and spend 100 million quid on a player. If you can develop a striker that could be a 100 million pound striker that you've got in your team, bloody hell, you've not had to spend 100 million on getting that striker, and that can be your striker.
But people are thinking of it from the other side of he means to rare them, grow them, and sell them for money. Which again is partially true.
But
half of it is that too as well.
That's partially, but that's also what everybody's doing. Everybody is doing that. So I think we maybe need to get, obviously, when you ever get a link to like, oh, the Saudis are going to buy United or UAE is going to buy United, we just think almost like a bit jokingly, like KG's list earlier on, we look at that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like that. And it's not as has been evident by people like Manchester City or even people like PSG. Maybe they go through phases where that's what they do initially. PSG, I mean, my goodness me, they're the most all-star team ever in Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, what have you, Sergio Ramos, Buffon or Donnarumma. But they learned their lesson quick enough that you don't do that. And now they're the winners of the Champions League. City did the same thing.
The team that they put together is still
it's still very expensive. But my point is, it's not necessarily just money. It's also
they both
strategy.
Go hand in hand.
It's strategy that comes in.
The key is with all the money in the world, if you don't spend it right, just like in any walk of life, if
look
you've
at
got
United.
Mad bread,
look at this.
We've spent it wrong. We've had a lot of resources since Sir Alex left, and we've spent it all wrong. When you look at how much we've spent more than most people. You know what I'm saying? It's only is it like City? Well, obviously Chelsea now have done their 2 billion, whatever they've done. But look at how Chelsea have done it, really. Their thing is just flip it. It's very unique what Chelsea are doing. I wouldn't even compare anyone or anything to what Chelsea are doing, because it's like something we've never seen. And they're not doing it for like sustained success, or they're literally, it's like a whole setup of the business. It's different. But we've spent as much as anyone, if not more, and we've spent it wrong. So yeah, if we had the Altan's money tomorrow, 100% agree with you that you can't just go and get all the players like in KG's book and then we'll just win the league. Obviously, it won't work like that, but it fixes a lot of things immediately. That's why we want it, because first of all, it gets rid of the problem that is the Glazers that just take. It would make us financially better off immediately just by wiping out the debt. If, we're painting these hypothetical pictures. But then it is down to the strategy is probably the most important thing. Obviously, you do need finance, but you see teams go further with, if you've got like more strategy than you do finance, say you excel at the top end of strategy, you could go really far off of not that much. But if you've got loads of money, but your strategy's way off, you'll be you'll be way off. You see what I'm saying? Like, look at Bournemouth. Look at Brighton. Look at what look at what who else has got not.
But naturally, the pushback to that will be is like Man United shouldn't be aspiring to be Brighton; they should be aspiring to be.
No, but you can. But yeah, of course. But if you get, that's what I'm saying. So if you get it right with the stature of your club and if you get both of them right, you're gone clear. But you could be as big as PSG, as big as Real Madrid, as big as Man United, as big as Bayern Munich or whatever. But if you don't have strategy right, even though you got the size of the club, the name, the badge, the history, you're fucked. Like, your strategy has to be really, really good.
Yeah,
so and I strategy of keeping Amorim for 3 years, because in a sense they're sticking to the plan of let this build, give it time, let's not be moved by knee-jerk decisions.
This is the other thing with that, though, is I think people are really hyper-focused on that 3 years. Like, he's definitely guaranteed going to get 3 years. He's not even on a 3-year contract. He's on a 2.5-year contract. And he then said in the very next sentence, obviously, we're dictated by results. So if Ruben Amorim keeps losing games, then he'll get the sack. So I think this idea that so Sir Jim's definitely going to give him 3 years. If anything, I think he's just made it more difficult for himself after he said that, because inevitably, in my opinion, when he does end up sacking him, people go, "Oh, see that 3 years." Like I really don't think that's a thing. I think that the idea of him when he says about making Man United one of the most profitable teams, I don't even think that's the worst thing in the world, because as has been pointed out, Man United should never, ever have an issue with PSR. Like, it shouldn't even be a thing for us, because what's PSR based on? Profit and loss. Man United makes so much money with their revenue streams. You look at like Newcastle as an example. Eddie Howe comes out and says it, because we've got all this money, we can't spend it because we don't make enough money. Our revenue streams aren't as big. Man United makes a shit ton of revenue. So we shouldn't even go into transfer windows being like, "Oh, can we even afford to get this player? Is that the right thing?" It shouldn't even be a thing. That is the reason we even discuss that is the strategy or lack thereof at Manchester United. So I don't even again think it's necessarily a finance thing with us. I think it's a strategic thing. Our strategy is crap, but the implementation of it by Ineos has not been.
I agree. I 100% agree with like when I didn't take it as like, "Oh my God, Ruben's definitely staying 3 years now. No point ever talking about his job or his thing," because I didn't take it as that. But that is true. But the other side of it that it did show me was that he can keep being mediocre and stay. And I think for me, that was the takeaway. Obviously, if we lost all 4 games in this next international bit, in this block of games, which we won't, but say we did, then like you say, it's driven by results. So it's like, gonna have to sack him. But if he keeps his head above water, i.e., I don't know, say we lost against Liverpool, then we beat Brighton, then we drew against Forest, then we lost against Spurs. That's like what we do, yeah. That's like
we're gonna be a yo-yo. I think we'll
do that. So what he's saying, but based on what Sir Jim's saying is, if it stays like that, he actually might get 3 years, because they're still thinking, it's gonna take time. So it's not like, obviously we see that as catastrophic. If we finish 15th again, 10th, 14th, 13th, all of that being there. But how I took it was, I don't think if we lost mad games in a row, you wouldn't sack him. But if we do that sort of, like KG saying, just a little yo-yo, just a little 12th to 15th, I feel like they that. Still... that's how
I got from it. We're not sacking him this season. In the full season. I just got that, because it's even after... Remember when we had the last game? So we lost to Brentford, and the next game was... What's the last game we just played? Sunderland at home. Yeah? For me, if we lost to Sunderland at home, I feel that's a sackable offence. I feel that like unsubscribing, guys. Information is free. Why do you have to make? Oh, go on then.
Hold on. No, so you don't have to unsubscribe. I'll just ban you from the whole. I'm joking. To make it easy for you, Mosa.
Yeah. All right.
Go on. Sorry, KG. Go on, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah, Sunderland's a sackable offence.
Yeah, I believe losing to Sunderland, sackable offence. The club said we already took 3-1 to Brentford, and now we go into this game and we don't do nothing. Now that lets me know, and then the club made sure to tell everyone we're not getting rid of him, no matter the score. That's what came out. That was like coming BBC, Simon.
He's saying he sees this as knee jerk. What's Jim saying is like this is knee jerk.
Game. Now I'm talking about the Sunderland game, which was like a wake up call to say Fabrizio. Everyone came out and said, even if they lose against Sunderland, we're not going to sack him. That's last week, getting by facts.
But they didn't say no matter the result. They did say, well, if you get 4-0 pumped at Old Trafford, that might be a little bit different. They put out like, if Ruben's likely to stay regardless of the result. But had we lost again 4-0 at home to Sunderland, pressure would be on.
It is all about the results.
Even though he's said that, I didn't really take that much from it, because what else is he going to say? Like, oh yeah, well, he's on the brink, isn't he? Of course he's going to back his manager. And we've seen for all the reporting suggesting that his hope is to give him the season. I just don't think he'll get that long. I would have loved, I so wish they asked him, well, what's your expectation then? What's the aims? What are you looking to do this season in terms of where you're going to finish, you know, in the table, what have you? Because I don't think it's a case of like, if Man United finish 10th or 11th, then he'll get another season. I just don't see that being the case. I see it as still that if we keep losing games, or even if we're a yo-yo team, eventually it'll get a point where that's not good enough. That's not going to be tolerated. At the moment, it's tolerated because, as we see in the comments, and people still say, they'll go, look, even though you're 4 or 5 points off the bottom, you're still 4 or 5 points off the top 4 or top 5. So a lot can change very quickly. But I think by the time, we've seen it last season, by the time like December comes around, or January, and those gaps start to get a little bit bigger, if Man United are still a yo-yo team by that point, but the distance is getting bigger between them and the European positions, then I think they'll let him go. So
there's a world where he can get sacked this season for you.
Absolutely, of course there is. Absolutely.
Is that for you as well? I just got from them talking. They want to try and back this situation for at least.
I think
that's why
I got. It's hard because they're all mixed up.
That's the intention.
Yeah,
that's
nothing.
The intention.
Yeah, there's nothing he says is in totality. Yeah. Well, I want to be given Ruben 3 years. That's where I'd be. I'd be at 3 years. Yeah, you want to be at 3 years? Great. I want Ruben to get 3 years and turn it around, and in 3 years' time we're amazing. I want that. But what you want and what you get is two different things. Like I said, I liken it to all the other CEOs and how the whole history of football has worked, and we've seen it, bro. Even with Ten Hag. You know, it was FA Cup. We believe in Eric and we're going to go again. They said stuff. I remember saying all that. They said the stuff. We had to summer. And the first couple of months, we got to October and we were 13th. They said, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, I keep saying, Karen Brady came in live on TalkSport, bro. She was there. I saw her in the thing. Yeah. Graham's, we're going to stick by Graham. We really think he's going to turn it around. And, we don't want, what I mean? Man just carried on losing. And they had to sack him, bro. Marinakis in the European thing, when they went to the European draw, he said, no, we're going to sort it out with Nuno. It's going to be fine. He didn't even keep losing. They just fell out. So these like CEOs and like decision makers, they can say what they want in public, but the results drive everything. But the only thing I did take, which I do agree with, bro, I do agree with you, where like, I didn't just take it as, oh, it's 100% fine if we continue to like win one, lose one. Just be a bit indifferent. I took it as long as we're indifferent at this side of it, where he's not even at a year, they'll at least give him the season, a season, a year, go get to the next transfer window, try go again into next season. Now can you start again? Good. Just prolonging. I saw prolonging.
If he gets 8th, do you think they'll keep him 8th?
If he gets 8th. I'll be honest, bro. I was saying if we finish 8th. Remember, we were talking about this, KG, on the was it Flexi KG show, and I was like, bro, we don't even have to get Europe for me. Like, if we show something and show that we're doing all right, if we show that we're going in the right direction, we can finish 8th. I'm not 100% mad at that. If I see something. But obviously, you was like, nah, we've got to be in Europe. It's not good enough. And listen, INEOS, like we say about the money, when all the finance guys are dissecting what's going on, they're saying Man United have to be in Europe, some kind of Europe. So maybe that isn't a thing. Because also what we heard, what was the report, Owen? Like a couple of weeks ago. So Jim feels this team is capable of getting European.
Yeah, championship.
If it doesn't, they might just.
I think, look, we obviously as fans, we like to sort of hyper focus and really sort of break down the words that people say in these interviews, but they're just that. They're interviews, aren't they, at the end of the day? So Jim also said we'd run out of cash by the end of the year if INEOS hadn't showed up. You know what I mean? So I think that people may be taking a bit too seriously what he's saying. He is the minority owner of Man United. He's in control of football operations. Of course, he's going to come out and back the guy that he hired, even if he's on the brink of of getting the sack, right? He's always going to back.
Yeah,
his
but you
guy.
can see why people don't trust it, Owen, because Dan Ashworth was his guy. He sat there and he said, well, this is the best league class. Newcastle being very stupid,
exactly.
But he gave it all of that, and then he fucked him off.
Exactly.
So,
that's what I'm saying.
So that means yeah, but also people aren't just going to go. So it's true that obviously means that they can just get rid of him at any moment.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He said it, but it also makes us feel like, well, mate, I ain't just listening to you saying like, yeah, you know,
lights were going to be turning off. He said the club might not be able to exist, and then after
and all of that, yeah.
And again, and obviously he likes.
So he knows it's bullshit.
He said it straight away. He said, "Oh, he's a nice guy." And look, to be honest, I mean, look at David Moyes when he came in at Manchester United, right? The intention was for him to see out his whole contract. He got a 6-year deal when he was gone.
It's always the intention, isn't it?
You know what I mean? So the intention for Ruben Amorim is that he sees out the season and he sees out his whole contract because things are working out well. But as we always say, you've got to earn it. There is no way, I think anyway, Ruben Amorim just gets a blind, well, he's just definitely going to get a season, even if we know 10 games left of the season that we're definitely going to finish 15th, or we're just going to sit there for the whole time. Of course not, you know. So I think that there's a very real possibility.
So do you think it won't be enough if he just keeps his head above water? And by keep his head above water, I think we all kind of loosely agree on what that looks like. You know, just do the thing what we do now, which is, you know,
one game. Mate, if we
one win a month,
one win a month, yeah. If we continue to do one win a month, he'll be gone by
Christmas.
Maybe Christmas, maybe early next year. I think he'll be gone by, because they'll start to look at it going, bloody hell, actually, you know, especially if they think that Europe actually is attainable, if they can turn results.
I wonder if they do think that. I wonder if they do.
I hate to add this because I know people are sick and tired of this conversation, but again, it did happen this week, and we do check back to what has happened this week. Xerxes and Kobe asked, like, they're not happy about their situation, what's going on. Kind of done.
What was you saying on the last show, KG? Remember on the red carpet when I said, guys, I just want to say something.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him and he don't feel rhythm.
He doesn't look like he looks happy and this, that, and the other. Do you believe, that because you've got a timeline now of him potentially losing his job Christmas, early next year, do you think it's a smart thing to just say, you know what, just hold on to Manu so we're ready for when this guy goes? Or would you lot still sanction a Manu going on loan, which would hurt Man United? I think I wouldn't want to do it personally. I'd keep him here regardless
and basically bet he's going to outlast him.
Bet that he's going to outlast him, and then see the new guy that comes in probably will play a midfield free. Or we're going to be, because we don't have the club are going to probably tell us in Jan, don't expect finances. We spent a lot already. You're probably going to get like that type of message.
What we've been hearing is the opposite, though, isn't it?
I was going to say,
Ritzel was like, Man United are signing a thing in a midfielder in January.
A lot of people said because of what happened, what happened at the end of the window, because of the players that we did move on, and because of the work that, and this is the point I guess INEOS are making, because of the work they've done to reduce costs and, you know, record revenue, bring the cost down, etc., and because obviously you get into years off of the money that you have spent that period of time, that Man United from a PSR perspective are actually in pretty good shape, and they can now go out in January and spend if they want to. So I think if the option came there, I think Kobe could go out on loan. It depends if we get another midfielder in. I could see it happening. It depends if Ruben's there as well.
That's what I'm saying, because if he's not there, I would be so annoyed to see a player of that quality out. You know, we're already getting it with all our other players that are doing well already. You know, people can't stop telling us about another good performance from said player, bomb squad, whatever. And now it'd feel really silly if we was to let him go, sack the manager, and just have this kid performing. You know, I'd rather keep him personally. And even now, there was that news about Bruno Fernandes. The rumors of him this being his final season was not true. That came out from Simon Stone as well. So that whole the understudy talk, I don't know, man.
I feel like it's hard because it's really hard to nail down anything, isn't it? Because it's so. I think clearly what we've, even from just talking from this 40 minutes, you can just see how like unstable it feels. Even if your gym's tried to come out and make it more stable by calming it down to say, listen, 3 years, buzzwords and that, but dictated by results. So the truth is that we don't truly know where we're going to be by. It literally is game by game / month to month or block by block. Because, you know, we always look at like, oh, next 4 games, how do we think this is going to go? Oh, next 5 games, what? Tell you what, if you get beat up there, then what? We did it. Remember we went City was going, boy, Day, this block, if we do that, that'll be great. But if we get licks, oh my God. And look, we got licks and it was like World War III. Then we managed to beat Chelsea afterwards. And then we went, right, tell you what, this next block, you know, going into international break, because then you got after that, you got this. So you got to beat Brentford and you got to beat, you know, this, that, and the other. You get bopped off the park by Brentford. And then we get back to the square one again. Then you go, if you don't beat Sunderland, then you do beat Sunderland. And it was kind of positive after that game. So now we go, right, reset everything. We got that first win. We got Liverpool. Good time to play them. Don't get touched 3-0 because then we're back to square one. But then after that, you have to beat Brighton. Then it goes, Ange ain't got a win in 10 games by then. You have to go to Forest and win. Do you see what I'm saying, bro? You're on mute.
And then we have to beat Spurs because we haven't beaten Spurs in 4.
Was it me?
Me? Yes, you flex. It's you flex. I can
You have to beat Spurs because we haven't beaten Spurs in 4. Can you hear me?
70%. I can hear you, KG. Look at this flexology.
I can hear you. Turn off your headphones.
It's always fleck, isn't it? It's always flexology.
Making changes.
Stupid FaceTime. Why is it doing that? Well, refresh.
Interestingly, KG, because of this, the speculation about the Man United investment takeover, what have you, Kieran Maguire has just tweeted saying, speculation over a possible bid for Manchester United adds £115 million in the club's market capitalization value. Share price has risen over 4% despite US stock market overall down. So the speculation is actually doing something, over 4% rise despite the market being down.
Yeah, look, man, if the market's going to react to all these salacious stories, you know, you don't want to be out of. If they do make a move, you'd want you want to return your investment. You want to be able to get something from that deal. But then when I was listening to him talk, it did sound as if he said it jumped even higher in when Sir Jim was there. So he said, while the market's reacted to it, not as vital as it did when the whole Sir Jim thing was happening. So, yeah, when we saw that, remember that like it was at super record highs. There was like, remember when we were talking about Sheikh Nassim and stuff? Yeah. We've been through this. What's crazy is, do you not remember that process? And could you not manage that again? Because if we were to be bought,
yeah, we said that this morning. That process was long, bro.
If we were to be bought, we are kind of starting again because INEOS get gazumped, a new man walks in, and the new owners are gonna need their new guy. Are you with me? You're almost starting at the beginning again. Would you not be bought with that?
If it meant the Glazers left. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Then you put yourself.
That's like a real news slate, isn't it? Like a proper news slate.
Exactly. We can't be begging for change, and then we get it and go, we don't have to.
You lose Wilcox and all of that. Like, I think that's a good. I like what Omar and Wilcox are trying to do. You know, with addressing the players that he brought in. I do like some of the players. I think they're good players. We get to see. Hopefully, Cunha turns into a good player, but I like that they're looking at the contracts, and some people are going. I've actually enjoyed how Man United have done business, even down to how we operated this window. I thought we did a good job.
Yeah, I think the players. I think in large parts, I think because we got. I do 100% agree that the 3 players we bought, well, including Sonny Lummans now, actually, so let's say 4. It felt like not saying Sonny Lummans for ages because it was like, we don't know when he's going to play. They just got him. Who knows what the plan is? But now he's the number 1. So let's add him in. Yeah. But the first 3, 100. Remember when you was doing the show and you was like, bro, when it gets shit, don't let people tell us that these are not good players. Don't let people tell you that Cunha and Buma and Sesko are rubbish. We have to lock in for that. Fully with you on that one. And then now with Sonny Lomans, obviously we need to see more games, but the early signs look good, yeah? So that is a good window. Me personally, I'm not sure like Wilcox's resume should equate to being up at this level, personally. Really? I don't know. I'm not sure about it. I have to be open to him showing it, proving it. Let's see. Yeah. Obviously, this is the first time Barada's been at this level. So it's a lot of new guys. So I got to allow them to learn and prove themselves and earn that credit in the bank. But at first, the guy that Arsenal got, Berta. Is it Berta or Berta?
Berta, yeah.
Like from Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Big history, big transfers. Like he's done for me, if we're gonna get best in class, I'm like, that's what it would look like for me. But what we've gone with is okay, well, Jason Wilcox, I'm not trying to just say he ain't done nothing in the game, but at this level, he hasn't. Like he's done the youth thing at City, and then when he's got to quite a high job, he's broke up Southampton. Let's be real. Like they were shit. The players they bought, the manager, look what happened to him at the minute. So I'm not sure that equates to being Man United's head honcho. Alongside others, it's not only him.
And obviously, Lescott said some great stuff about Omar as well, saying that how
he
likes
him.
I honestly feel like we got some better people at the club doing deals which we just didn't have before. You know that
it's like the goalkeeping situation at KG, isn't it? Our bar was so on the floor that we're not very good now at comparisons, are we? Because we're like, this goalkeeper's great, and you go, what are you comparing him to? Or we're going, Barada and Wilcox are doing a great job, and you go, well, yeah, but we don't know what good is. We know what really bad is, but we don't really know what good is, I suppose. If we had
early though.
If we had a takeover and they said, we're going to clear the decks and get everyone in new positions, to be honest, I wouldn't really care, because I'd be like, well, the Glazers are gone. You know what I mean? It's a fresh start. Because that was the frustration, I suppose, with the INEOS deal, isn't it? Is that it's been a fresh start somewhat, but it's never truly a fresh start until the Glazers are gone. It's certainly you're trying to do up the place and you're painting it up nice and you've got some new facilities and that's great, but it's not a fresh start. You know, the baggage is still there. The scars are there. You can paint over them, but they still exist. You know, so it will never truly be a fresh start until the Glazers are gone anyway. So if that meant completely changing everything at Man United, even the people that we've just got in, all right, that's the rebuild I'm talking about. You know, spare me. This is my frustration when people try and do a gotcha and they go, you didn't have the stomach for a rebuild because we lost to Brentford. And you go, well, no, it's just that this isn't a rebuild. And a rebuild isn't also, finishing 15th with the same majority owners. What's the rebuild there? You're not rebuilding anything, are you? You know what I mean? Worse. So, if it meant changing everyone, then yeah. And I do agree with Flex in the Jason Wilcox stuff. I feel like, look, he's got a really good track record of academy football. He was the academy director at Manchester City and obviously did a fantastic job there. And we've brought in quite a few academy players. I don't think that's any coincidence. Omar Barada,
that I can attribute to him.
Omar Barada had a very good track record at Manchester City. Not as a CEO, was he chief operations officer. So this job was a step up into a position he hadn't held before. Granted, he was being groomed for that job maybe at City down the line. But I think for both of them, you can make arguments of going, they're somewhat not qualified in their territory. Is that what you should be looking for at Manchester United? That's a bit of a concern. And then someone that was qualified in Dan Ashworth wasn't a good cultural fit either. Yeah. So,
and then Vivell got our Sesko as well. I don't know if there's any other deals Vivell got, but if Sesko turns out to be a talent, you can now say, what I like about what we didn't have before is these guys have relationships with other teams. So we can they worked in other spaces, so they have friends. I think the Vivell thing was a big factor of getting Sesko over the line instead of him going to like Newcastle or something like that. You know what I mean? So finally, we've got people, and we're not getting robbed, because some of these deals, man, they were like, we paid less than Newcastle offered, and he just we sold Sesko.
But how much of that do you think is our badge? So, like you work for, like when I've got friends who worked in car dealerships, and they always tell me, like, the sell isn't really getting a man to come into Audi and say, look, this is Audi. The sell is which specific one works for you, because it's like this is Man United. Like you are going to want to come here just with the pre-tax. Like, how much of it do you think is that versus now Vavell really, convinced him that this is like, because I know you because I'm part of the Red Bull.
A massive part because of how bad the season was, finishing 15th, no Europe, again Newcastle Champions League, and he had to sell a project. No matter what you can say,
and he is Red Bull, innit? He has been through.
Yeah, and I think that relationship played key. I think having football people in the job has made a difference to how Man United are doing business compared to just being ripped off in every dealings. Like the phone rings, it's like we used to do sketches about it. It's like, oh, it's these lot again. I'm going to sell them something that we don't even need. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's in the past. And even the window closing and us not just panicking and bringing in anyone just to fill the void of no midfielder, probably you're going to work out and say, you know what, that's Man United getting smarter.
But Hamza says these guys are learning on the job just as much as Amorim is. Be real, they all bloody useless. We're giving them too much credit, says Hamza. WJ Barrett says, KG, I feel UAE. UAE today. Prantec Gaming says, love from Canada. Big up to you, bro. It says the Glazers ownership model with INEOS will never run long. It's like one lion and one wolf. They both want to rule, hence chaos. They both want to be the king, innit? It's going to be difficult. We just hired Brentford's CEO as well. Yeah, and that's more of the football operation stuff, logistics, Carrington, security. That's not, we need a new centre mid. What's the guy from Brentford we just got saying? That's nothing to do with him. So, yeah, he's an operational manager. I don't know. That's true, though, that they are kind of all learning the job. So on one hand, you go, that means you should really give people a bit more patience because they're learning. Arteta was a brand new manager, never managed in his life. So when things go a bit wrong or whatever, you got to be patient. You got to give him a chance to fix it and learn and grow. There's that. But you have got a lot of people learning on the job. And then people that were involved that are fucking from cycling and fucking driving 4x4s and sailing. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not... when you think of, again, the cliche, this is Manchester United to talk about here. It's like... You got a lot of newbies, and that sometimes could mean you have to be more patient, but also can mean that they might not have a clue what they're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Remarkable. James and myself had this conversation, I think, last week on Trafford Talk. We were saying that off the pitch, the majority of the stuff that INEOS have done, I think you can look at it and say that they're positive things, right? Where it's the training ground, or as KG said, I think in the transfer market, we've operated better. I think maybe it's been a little bit overblown on how good it's been, but it's better. The hires off the pitch and the people that have left, they're good things. None of it has translated to anything positive on the pitch, which is pretty remarkable. Because usually that work you do off the pitch would translate to at least sort of, something positive. But really, it's been nothing. I mean, even that FA Cup win under Erik ten Hag, they've been in a couple of months by that point. You could make an argument to say, the reports at the time of Wilcox going up to Ten Hag, you've got to change it to 4-4-2 and this, that, and the other. But it's amazing how, so they've been in now for nearly a couple of years, like how little they've got right on the pitch. We mentioned it before with with signings, we said, you when you've got a signing track record like we have over the last decade, where we basically go, Bruno's our only good signing. That's not a coincidence. You don't get that unlucky. You're doing something wrong. There is something wrong there. It's kind of the same with INEOS, isn't it? Of going
I would say that
the sporting track record of INEOS on the pitch stuff, it's non-existent. Very good.
I'd say that we do have players in. I don't think Mbeumo, Delit, Mazraoui, have been players that are missing the appeal of what we usually. None of them can wear the United shirt. Those guys look like it fits, and it's not an issue. We still need to see the best of Cunha, and Sesko looks like he could be good. Sesko looks like there's something there. Lamen's too early to say, but I finally feel like before everything was a flop but Bruno. I don't think that's the case anymore. I just think someone. Do you know what it is? It's just the
too soon to say. Too soon to say.
Yeah, I just think because of the manager as well, because that's someone that they bought in as well for big money, and essentially that's made near enough everything not work so far. Took about
But
50
because
games.
at least Euro Delit Mazraoui, we wouldn't have had like some level of. They're better players. There's
that's true. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Have been absolutely shocking when you're now saying, actually, no, we're getting. Maybe you can say now the Xerxes one, by the looks of it, probably not gonna be a good player. Do you know what I mean? But then,
move him on.
But then
that was kind of the point, isn't it? Like, so like you said, those things are, they are improvements. They're better. But this was always my pushback of the whole. Well, first of all, it's Dave Brailsford being involved initially of like, he's got no experience to be involved in football at high level. Yes, sport and cycling. But this was the whole thing of when they were talking about marginal gains at Manchester United. Marginal gains to us mean F all. They mean nothing because we're so far off. It's not like we need marginal gains just to get over the line. Oh, now we're going to win the Premier League. Like we're finishing like 8th and 15th. Marginal gains is going to get us up to 13th.
Yeah.
We need way bigger gains than marginal. You know what I mean? That's
need massive gains. K-Flow says, big up, lads. Just getting off work. We'll catch the recap. Happy Friday and weekend to you all. People, big up. Trinity Podcast, episode 83. What's that, KG? Lesotho. How'd you say that?
Again, Lesotho,
sorry. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it.
I need to win and it starts in 2 minutes.
Well, I hope you lose. Jamaica to the world.
We're not playing Jamaica.
It's not. Oh no, it's not World Cup qualification. This is AFCON.
It is, though. It is.
No, it's World Cup qualification.
World Cup.
Are you in AFCON?
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah,
are you in? Did you get in?
Yeah.
Actually, no. I do hope you win, so we can.
That
all
would
get
be
the
shocking
World
if
Cup
they didn't make.
and knock you out.
If they didn't make
AFCON. Ghana didn't make AFCON.
Oh, no.
Did they not?
Crazy.
Bloody how?
Semenyo and them, man. Crazy. You had the last laugh. Imagine you had the last laugh, Semenyo in the end.
Yeah.
Well, better go win this. Don't laugh yet. All right, big up, people. Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we'll see you again very, very soon, man. We are out of here. Enjoy your weekend, man. Stay blessed. Take care, people. Peace.